Hey, how you doing? Um, just gonna wait for a couple more people to come on. I want to thank everybody uh, that's been supporting. There's like 6 people that have been here from the very beginning. I mean, they haven't been everyone, but they were here like last Wednesday. So I first want to express my condolences to the Jackson family. I had called them and dubbed them the first black family of United States after Martin Luther King was assassinated. So like the first whole family. And I'm going to touch on um, the exaggerations. Now this is my opinion, but I talk about the psychology of things with 2 people as examples. Actually, I'm gonna mention 3 people. Um, Barry White, groundbreaker. He could write lead sheets. He can conduct orchestras. Now, I want to talk about 2 other people because remember, Hollywood is a machine. Okay. Um, Black people have always had the most natural talent. So, what I mean by natural talent, I mean they hadn't been to dance schools, music schools, been taught or trained by professionals or any institution. Some of the greatest music ever came out of Motown, and that was the Philadelphia sound. Then you had people from Detroit, um, Motor City, but the exploitation is the same mentality that kidnapped Africans, put them through trauma, and enslaved them. The music industry, in particular, is an offshoot of that exploitation and mind control. So, my condolences to Tito Jackson. I'll mention it again. So, I'm Stefan Lambert, and okay, I see somebody else. Um, let's get started. Hey, how you doing? Here's your friend and brother, hopefully therapist. I am a certified family crisis counselor, and I went through some traumatic things, and I've been working my way back, and I've almost come full circle. And I'm here to let you know that no matter what you went through, what you're going through, or what you're just starting to feel, you can make it. And my philosophy is if everybody listened to everybody else or someone within your circle, involved yourself with neighborhood youth, I'm talking about decent people, of course. Um, if we listen to people, there might not be a need for psychiatrists or psychologists. All right. So look, I'm not trying to say that the profession will not be necessary because that's learned information and documentation and textbooks and people who have come before us. But just to sum it up, you can make a difference by being a good listener. And if you find someone that you trust, that you feel safe talking to, open up and talk to somebody. And if there's nobody around you like that you feel like you can trust, that you feel comfortable with, I want to dispel the dogma like criticism. Talk to yourself. I did that. I looked in the mirror and I used to talk to myself. Now, it's never too late to start doing something different, because I was learning and even repeating on some occasions that you can talk to yourself. And I wasn't doing it. I intended to do it. I had the intention of doing it, but I didn't. Even when I lived by myself, which was most of the time, I wouldn't talk to myself. The only time I would hear myself is when I was praying out loud. But, better late than never, I discovered that I could be my own counselor, my own therapist, my own best friend. So I highly recommend that. And if you write down several things, or one thing to start with, that you want to happen, or if there's something that you want to stop happening, I'll always try to use myself as an example. I battle with perfectionism, and I have some self-esteem problems. Okay? That's just two. Once I started speaking this out loud, I was able to face it. That's the first step, to face a problem. And if you speak it out loud, you fast forward into admitting that you have something that you need help in, something that you need to change. And it also works with mental health, physical health, and prosperity. Patience, faith. You can even speak faith into your life. And that's an energy that's beyond the textbooks, because we give off positron emissions that can be measured, and it has weight. They have drums that are set up with very sensitive speakers and listening devices where they can hear particles hitting against the drum. That's positron emissions. It has mass. Okay? So sound and frequencies that most of us can generate from our own mouth, we can speak life to our life. And we need to recognize it, because we can also accidentally, inadvertently speak death to our life. And we have powers that be. We have selfish people. We have abusers. We have some sick people that enjoy holding somebody down, speaking death and negativity into the life of individuals who might have this much more peace than they have, that are putting these frequencies out and these negatives in the atmosphere, into our mind. It goes into our subconscious mind, and it festers there. So I'm summarizing something that you can do today. You can look in the mirror and give yourself some positive affirmations. I highly recommend finding positive affirmations on YouTube. And be picky. I believe that whatever is best for you will resonate, and you'll just feel good. You'll feel comfortable. You'll feel like something is helping you. But first, just believe that this can help. All right? Because I know it does. I wouldn't be sitting here today if I wasn't able to say, I can't trust this person with my inner feelings, but I feel safe talking to this person. Focus on that. And if you don't have anybody over here, that you feel safe talking to, talk to yourself. The first thing to happen is you'll remove what's called stinking thinking. I did a lot of that and I didn't even realize it. I had a lot of the knowledge, I had some of these tools. I don't know if I thought I already had it and I didn't have to practice it. I don't know. Or maybe I felt in my subconscious that I was a lost cause. I don't know. But I do know I knew the information that I'm giving you, but I wasn't applying it. I wasn't practicing it. I felt like I shouldn't talk to myself in the mirror. But I would tell people subtly, I said, that's probably a good idea. You should do that. I would even say, you should do that. But I wasn't doing it. And I didn't realize that I wasn't doing it. So these things are going on all the time. So if some of this information feels all right, just try it. You got nothing. Trust me, I can tell you this. You have nothing to lose. If you find yourself in a safe place, you take a deep breath, get extra oxygen into your brain, which houses your mind and all that information. This is what I do in breathing. This is for me. You can figure out what feels best for you because your body and your mind will tell you what's best for you. I personally, first I try to relax myself. I start with my shoulders because that's where I usually have the most tension. I have a little bit of tension in my neck. I do a little of that. Okay. Then I shake it off and I'm thinking in my mind, okay, I'm shaking off this tension, this stress, this anxiety. I'm shaking it off. This is my routine. You can discover your own routine. Then, once I'm settled, because I'm doing it right now, I usually swallow and I'm going to take a deep breath, and I personally like to count to 4. Then I hold it for several seconds. I used to be 2, then I moved to 3. Now I hold my breath for 4 counts. Now this part is equally important, how you exhale. You definitely slow down your exhale at least 1 beat or 1 count. In music we say that's a beat. We even say that in theater. You wait a beat before you say this. And you blow it out. This is what I do. I picture all the negativity that's in me that I don't see, but I know it's there, and it's contributing to the stress, if not causing the stress. As I exhale, I picture in my mind, I visualize the negativity coming out. A lot of times I do this because this is right for me. I go. Now this is before I start counting. This is how I get myself relaxed. I go. I inhale. I come down in a prayer situation because that's the way I started. I started praying out loud while I was by myself. So this reminds me of that because I'm asking God to help me in all of these steps. One more time, I go. Breathe out. That's getting myself ready. Then I shake it off and I do my breathing exercises. And I'm going to count with my finger to show you how I do it. You feel it out, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But remember, when you inhale like that and you hold it for a couple seconds, you're getting more oxygen to your brain. And that helps your mind. So, I exhale counting to 5. So I'll do it again for you. I'm inhaling and I'm counting. I'm going to hold it. Now I'm going to exhale slowly to 5. Now, at face value, when you're counting and you're trying to set a pattern, you're not thinking about the negative stuff. You're focused on the counting. Okay? For some of us, we overthink things and we spiral. So I've been facing some challenges, and Lord have mercy. All praise be to God. That's what my sisters like to say. And I'm saying that too. To God be the glory. I keep receiving these challenges and they dissipate. That's all I can say. It disappears. Or a avenue is opened up. These are miracles to me. All right? But if this up here is doing a whole bunch of stuff, doing too much, that's not positive, these breathing exercises physically brings more oxygen into the electrical mind and you can function better. And the counting helps you to focus. Okay? So that's what I want to say. I want to touch on the passing of Tito Jackson. This family from Gary, Indiana, changed the world so much. The connection with the Jacksons started as the Jackson 5. Actually, it was the Jackson 3 before they started just winning all of these contests, right? But with the Jackson 5, when they came on the scene and became known to us, to the public, and then there was a TV show called Julia starring Diane Carroll. Then there was I Spy with Bill Cosby. Then there was Good Times. Then it was the Jeffersons. But I want to focus on Good Times and the connection between Good Times and the Jackson 5. Because from the Jackson 5 came little Janet Jackson that would nail a Mae West impression. Big boy. You know, she's just cute as can be. And Janet Jackson was on Good Times. I have found spiritually, for those of us of African descent, because that's what I have the most experience of and as, God has a connector that connects up. And I'd seen this and I'd made charts. Jaguar Wright started speaking her truth, which I know was therapy for her because that woman went through trauma. She is a traumatized person. Okay. Then Cat Williams breaks the internet. Okay. While this was all going on, you had an individual that did what I did. Bodyguard, Gene, say I can't remember his name. See, I get in trouble for that. You know, people tease me and rip me apart. Gene Deal. I mean, these are names that I know. But I'm doing a podcast. What can I say? All right. And I'm not using cue cards. The connection. Martin Luther King and his family. JFK and his family. The Jackson 5 and their family. Then Good Times, about a family. Now, The evil forces, the greedy forcers, the colonizers, the exploiters, from day one of rehearsal for Good Times, the exploiter, Norman Lear, didn't want this black family, and this was not for any public reason or entertainment depreciation. It's because he was a racist. Now, even if you don't want to accept that he's a racist, just as I'm saying, look at the facts. 97% of every single hit TV show about a family had a strong father figure. Of course, they were Caucasian, all right? So why would Norman Lear be adamant about this show that was created by two black people? Why would he be adamant that there not be a strong father figure? Even if it's subconscious, which I don't think it was, there's the fear that a whole family unit with the yin yang of a mother and a father, masculine, feminine, even if they alternate, but a whole family unit was discouraged in Norman Lear's mind. I used to escort Esther Rowe, who played the mother on Good Times. I used to escort her to public events. And I was really like her bodyguard. At that time, I just didn't call myself that because I wanted to be trained to be a bodyguard. Because there were training that you could take. All right. This is way before death row. So anyway, if we look for hope, if we put it in our mind, I'm going to do better. I'm not going to go under. God got me. My higher power got me. Whatever. Things will manifest. And this is known. It's been known for 1,000 years. But you got selfish people that won't want everybody to know. Or if they can't capitalize on it, they can't make money letting people know that the universe will work with them and help them through anything, then they don't want to have nothing to do with it because they're selfish. Okay? So, I'm just going to take this time to do two things. I want to pay tribute to Tito Jackson. And I want us collectively to recognize talented people that give us a good feeling. Let's recognize them. I want to also mention I don't have time. I wanted to talk about Joe Jackson, what he did for the community back in Gary, Indiana. And this is facts. We can do fact checking. There was a lot of gang activity, groups of males, boys, getting together because the frustration of being black and poor can make you hostile. This is what Joe Jackson did. This man physically built a boxing ring in their community and told the boys if they have a problem with somebody, we'll box it out. Because you learn how to do rules and regulations, you can learn how to box. You have something to do. That was very intelligent, and that was a solvency to a problem that a lot of people still don't know how to correct. Now, Ike Turner. One thing that the Jacksons and Ike Turner and Barry White had in common was organized crime wanted to control them because there was always somebody controlling the black people with the talent. All right? So they wanted to get in on it too. Okay? And some of them faced discrimination, not on the level of black people, but they felt some discrimination. All right? So they was going to follow the herd of exploiters and control the black people. Make the lion's share of the wealth and give them the peanuts. But it's control. It's like slavery. Okay? Barry White looked him in the eye and told him, I'm going to do this for you. You can make money off of this, but then I'm done. And this is what he did. This is legend in the music industry. He set the 45 down because they had machines that can make 45s. But, you know, he was a producer. He said, okay, this can be your 45. Then he put out a 45 pistol. And he said, and this is my 45. He said, whatever you think you can do to me, me and my people can do to you. Okay? Now, Ike Turner said the same thing. Joe Jackson said the same thing. Because people wanted to control the Jacksons. I wanted to put that out because the narratives that we get don't tell the whole truth. All right? So, shout out, prayers for the Jackson family. We thank you for enduring everything that you went through that people don't know about, but you still carried yourself. Of course you're not perfect, but doggone it, you're a whole lot more perfect than some of our political shouldn't be leaders. A whole lot. Opposite of Diddy. Okay? We're proud of you. We love you. You've touched our lives. Your music has helped heal people in hospitals. You got us through the hard times. Good times, yeah. Y'all brought us good times. You brought us good times. And you're still bringing us good times. You are important. I know Tito's resting in peace because you guys have really given more than you have received. You really have. Okay? So, our condolences, comfort for your loss. But Tito's in paradise. I set up a page on Facebook because I just had to do something. I wish I could do more, but I set up both a hashtag and a page. So, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. This is therapy for me. And when I go through something, I can look forward to communicating the things that I have overcome with the help of God. And when I talk about it, I'm reminded of it. So when the next problem, the next challenge comes along, I can watch my own podcast and say, hey, don't make it. So that's my time. I want to thank you guys. See you next Wednesday if we don't let nothing happen. That's what my mom used to say. I love you. God bless.